What's up, my fellow Shinobis? It's your Nindo way that you forgot like 5 episodes later and you only mentioned once, Annie.
You're never supposed to forget your Nindo way. That was the whole point. I don't ever go back on my word, and I believe in that stance more than Annie. Minty.
And this is FunUntitled, the podcast we serve with an FU.
So if that wasn't obvious from Shinobi and Nindo, we're talking about Naruto.
Did I say Shinobu or Shinobi?
I hope you good God you said Shinobi, because otherwise we're gonna just confuse the hell out of people what we're talking about.
We just gotta edit like a really bad, B over that.
I'm not editing nothing. I don't know how to edit yet, so we're just gonna take whatever we got.
Talking about everyone's favorite gateway anime when you was in 2010, Naruto.
2010?
Yeah.
The anime started in 2002, and the manga's 1990. I guess. I guess you'd be about 10 when you actually first saw Naruto.
You are so angry with me, I hate you.
Oh my god, did we start watching in 2010?
No. I remember we watched it when I was in middle school, so that was about 2006.
No, I remember being elementary.
Well, yeah, 2010, I would have been 10th grade, you would have been 11th grade. But we digress. I don't even know if this is going to make it into the final product.
Yeah, basically, if you're in your mid-20s, you have definitely seen Naruto.
Or you definitely, if you're in your early 10s, you definitely heard of Naruto.
Or Boruto's dad.
Yeah!
Which is so dumb. It's a Crunchyroll, I won't even say joke, a mistake.
It's not really a mistake. He is Boruto's dad. It's just bad marketing. They was trying to promote Boruto and like, hey, if you like Boruto, why don't you watch Boruto's dad?
Which is like, is it bad marketing if it makes people talk about Boruto?
It's kind of like Pokemon Masters X. Is it bad marketing if everyone talks about it? The answer is yes, because a lot of porn artists drew a lot of things for Pokemon Master X.
To be fair though, they were doing it before that.
Fair enough. But it's terrible because you're filling the tag what kids are going to check.
Oh.
But if you just put in the Pokemon tag that's like, whoever it may be, but you're purposely trying to, But we digress, going back to Naruto. But to be fair, Naruto did have a lot of butt stuff.
Okay, so we're going to talk about Naruto, a review, and it is personally my favorite anime and manga of all times because, well, it's nostalgic and it's kind of like biasy like that. But everyone has biasy like that. The generation before loves Dragon Ball. But anyways, so if you don't know what Naruto is, that means you're too young, but we will educate you as if you were older, because honestly, if you're a preteen, you shouldn't be on the internet anyways.
Yeah, to be fair, we're not supposed to talk to minors. It's like that Tumblr post where like, there should be no reasons why an adult would talk to a minor. Like, for the last time, son, I will not talk to you.
Ooh, good news before you preteens turn away. If you are under 18 and someone tries to sell you something, just say you're under 18 and they will stop talking to you, because a solicitor cannot sell you anything.
I thought you was gonna say, if someone's trying to sell you Naruto, go into that white van.
That's good advice too. But just because if they're selling you Naruto things, they just want your money. They don't want anything else, just your money. Anyways, so Naruto is basically, he's a ninja. He's 12 years old. He's probably the one where, if he had any traits, he's obnoxious, he's a knucklehead, and he dreams of becoming Hokage, the leader of the Leaf Village. Surprisingly not the best ninja in the world, but like top 5, I guess. Because always like, I'm gonna be the best in the world. It's like, no, I don't want to be one of the best 5. But anyways, and basically, he grew up in a village that was keeping a secret from him, which is that he hosts a 9-tailed demon. And you're all wondering, how was a whole village able to keep a secret from one boy? It was by law.
It was also illegal to tell Naruto that his dad was the last president of the Leaf Village.
No, but it was illegal. You couldn't tell Naruto that he was the 9-tailed host. You couldn't tell them that his dad was the Hokage. And basically everyone hated him, and a lot of people in his generation didn't even know. Oh, his
Wait,
generation.
Real shit? I didn't even know this. It was illegal to tell Naruto his dad was the 4th Hokage?
Yeah, okay, 1, I don't think many people even knew in the first place, but 2, I don't think you were able to tell them.
Well, damn, if I saw this boy running around that looked just like the last president of the United States, I would be like...
But anyways, so he was grown hated and he didn't know why, except his personality. But basically, so he was like, he's gonna become Hokage, and everyone's gonna respect him and love him. But once he becomes a full-fledged ninja, he learns that becoming Hokage isn't really about gaining the respect of others, it's more to protect people. And that's really the overarching plot of Naruto. There's this whole subplot of him saving his friend Sasuke.
Gay subplot, by the way, y'all. If you want something gay, go to Naruto. But if you get upset over queer baiting, then maybe not Naruto.
It is strong queer baiting for sure. But he does have a love interest from the very beginning, so you don't realize how strong that queer baiting is until like the end of Naruto and beginning of Shippuden and then the war arc.
Okay, you do not heterosexually put your forehead against each other and be like, yeah.
I mean, they were like looking at each other intently and intimately, and I mean, as they always said when we were young, Naruto and Sasuke fans, there was more of them than any other couple. And it's probably true because they, people are double dipping. But yeah, I actually really like Naruto. Naruto's a very like character-based, character-driven story. Which if you're like, oh, Naruto doesn't focus on other characters and other characters get dropped off, it's like, that is true. But I do think it's partially because Naruto is very driven to just be only about Naruto Uzumaki.
How can you say that when there's a whole arc of just Sasuke?
Okay, Sasuke would be like the secondary person, but I think overall it's still about Naruto. And yeah, okay, I get the whole Team Taka / Hawk or whatever, but I think it's mostly about Naruto. Come on.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, I know a lot of people are upset because in the beginning of the series, Kishimoto kind of, the creator of Naruto kind of hints, like, oh, look at Naruto's classmates. They're going to become important. Look how important they are in the tuning exam. And they are so disrespected in the war arc. And I know what you're going to say. You're going to say, they weren't disrespected. And I'm talking to Minty here, because Minty will defend Naruto, held him back. But I will say that one part, I was like, you didn't need to have Kiba and Neji there, because fans wanted them.
Yeah, it's like when Bleach puts Hitsugaya in every single thing they do. But anyways, okay, I defend Naruto a lot, and I don't really mean to, because I know Naruto has his own flaws, and I do respect people's opinions, but I do get kind of defensive. I am trying not to, but I do say I actually really like the war arc. But let's get down to it. Okay, so, I mean, when you first meet Naruto, he's like a genuinely annoying character, but also someone you kind of want to cheer for, because he's just like this kid who really wants to do good.
He's relatable because he is exactly any 12-year-old ADHD boy you meet on the street. He's loud, he's obnoxious, he does pranks, he's a pervert. I don't know if 12-year-olds are perverts, actually. Don't quote me on that.
12-year-olds are perverts, and that's because that's when they start going through puberty.
So, like, yeah, if you're a 12-year-old boy, you're like, that's me on the screen. I'm gonna self-project. Which is weird for Japan, because if you think about it, why would you make a main character super relatable, but make him blonde with blue eyes in Japan?
Japan loves blonde and blue eyes. They see a pretty character, it's either traditional Japanese or blonde and blue-eyed.
And when you see Japanese characters, either Sasuke or Naruto.
That's so true. But anyways, okay, so, you meet Naruto, you go through the Land of Wait, which I think is actually one of the best arcs ever.
Are we skipping the Kakashi ninja exam?
Okay, you want to talk about finger up the butthole?
Okay, no offense, everyone knows about the finger up the butthole and tying Naruto to a log in the because look, the beginning of Naruto, that's such great character building. If you want to look at any series that does character building really well, it's Naruto in the beginning. Except the one episode where they did that weird love triangle thing. That was annoying.
Love triangle thing?
The one when, like, Naruto disguised himself as Sasuke, and then Naruto was like, oh crap, drank expired milk, I gotta go poopy. And then Sasuke came, and Sakura was like, I love you, Sasuke! And Sasuke's like, don't ever talk to me ever again.
Yeah, if anything, that was more for Sasuke than anything else. But actually, you're right. We should talk about the Kakashi thing, because I think everyone remembers that. It's such a great lesson.
I think also, too, like, it was the first cool badass scene of Naruto, because you can be like, no, the first jutsu was when Naruto cloned himself 100 times. No. When Kakashi is wrecking these 12-year-old shits, that is the most, Naruto.
I think it's amazing, because I think everyone genuinely likes Kakashi. I don't think there's anyone who's ever said, I don't like Kakashi.
I think some people might feel Kakashi's overrated, but you don't dislike him, you just think everyone else likes him too much.
That's Annie's problem with other characters, but not Kakashi. I mean, he's just basically teaching these 12-year-old kids that no matter what happens, no matter what rules are given to you, you don't abandon your friends.
And then later on, we see why that's important in his backstory.
This is a spoiler-full thing, so we can just talk talk about how his friend died and comes
Oh,
back
it
to
did?
life.
Did he go back to life? Or I just thought he had a near-death experience. In
Yeah,
some way.
technically he's
Okay.
not dead.
Kakashi, okay, you know what's weird? Kakashi had two friends. One of them, like, we had this whole chapter about how he almost died and he came back to life, which is kind of bullshit because they had enough time for an eye surgery, but they didn't have time to get him out of the rocks, but someone else clearly did.
I assume that even if he got out from the rock, they couldn't have saved him.
But then, like, Kakashi has a little girlfriend and, like, totally glossed over why she died. Yet that's kind of very important because it's the reason why his first friend, the boy, comes back and goes kind of crazy because he was like, I like that girl.
Do you not remember his name?
I don't know. I can
Obito.
I can say Obito and Rin. Do you want me to say that names?
I would like you to say that
It's
name.
kind of complicated.
Because saying boy from before is more easier to say than Obito.
Okay, fine. Obito Uchiha and Rin, what's her name? I don't think she had a last name.
Yeah, I don't know either. But anyways, yeah, I mean, you pretty much start Naruto off running with why you should even, like, watch the show and why you should support these characters and root for them. Because even though they have the traits, they have, like, the good things. Except Sakura. She was kind of there for the ride, but she gets better in Shippuden. Trust me.
I swear to goodness, shonen men back then who wrote shonen did not give a crap if they wrote girls well. They're like, whatever, my audience is boys.
Which I think Kishimoto even admits he didn't know how to write girls back then.
Which I'm just like, y'all, writing a girl isn't that hard. Like, the creator of Nanasu no Taizai said that, like, oh, my last work, everyone said my girls were unrealistic even though I tried really hard. So I decided for this work not to try at all. Just write women however I want. And I'm just like, you made the most sexist women in the end.
You think so? For that episode.
But no, we can bring this to Naruto. It's just like, I don't know how to write women. Maybe don't make domestic women. All the women in the beginning of Naruto, it's either domestic as hell or the bitchy mean girls.
Bitchy mean girl. Ino is mean girls.
Ino Sakura was the mean girls. Hinata was domestic. Tenten had no personality. Tamari was supposed to be the ominous, like, bad girl.
Which is another way of saying mean girl.
Yeah, basically.
But who like to kill you. She would kill you.
So it's like, and any women that was kind of cool became domestic in the end.
Yeah, Kurenai.
Kurenai, Uncle, I'm not gonna body shame her because, you know, whatever. But it is weird how she went from, like, interrogator to just a teacher.
That was weird, but I mean, she went through a lot of shit. So at least she's happy at the end. Because I don't think she was never really happy until, like, you see at the last chapter.
Yeah.
That's good for her. Oh, the Tsunade state is a badass.
Tsunade State is badass. I don't know how she states. I don't know how the Miss Kage. I forget what you call that.
The Mizukage.
Mizukage is. I don't know how she is in the end.
She grows old, so she just, like, has wrinkles. She's not super old.
Yeah.
But she has the wrinkles, and she's like, oh no. And Tsunade's like, why are you crying? And it's like, bitch, I don't want to talk to you. Because Tsunade is absolutely okay being single, drinking, gambling, and looking fine.
To be fair, Tsunade did make a whole ass jutsu just so she looks young. Which is another thing, was like, come on, Naruto.
To be fair, I don't think that was the original purpose.
Oh.
Because Sakura does the same thing, but she doesn't use it to look young. I think as Tsunade grew older, she started using part of it to look young.
Okay.
But a lot of it's more just to store chakra, to be, to just be able to release it on the end. Because she's about power and healing.
It's kind of like, I forget what the correct term for this is. When you look at her writing, and is it writing to build the world, or is it writing just for, like, fan service? Like, the example I'm thinking of is, like, someone's like, oh, Dwarven women are supposed to grow beards, but in this village, in my village, society says that they can't grow beards because of some asinine reason.
Oh.
So does Tsunade look young just because it makes sense, or is it for an asinine reason?
Good question. Can I talk about the Land of Waves?
Okay, fine, come talk about your favorite gay arc, Land of Waves. God, you're such a Naruto Sasuke fan.
No, because I like the Land of Waves. Because all my favorite some of my favorite arcs in animes are the ones that transform the main character. That really shows the transition of change. So remember how I talked about before about how Naruto went from I want to be Hokage so that everyone respects me to I want to be Hokage because I want to protect people. That happened in the Land of Waves. Because he saw Haku and was like, Haku, why why you know.
Real
why you so
fast,
strong.
Haku is just this badass character that came in the land of waves to non-binary as hell, and you're like, hey, I respect you. Then he turns out to be a murderer. And he's the first one to really see what a Geki Genkai.
Yeah, that's a
Which
good
is, a
point.
Geki Genkai is a jutsu that only certain people of certain blood can use. But like, so Sasuke, you know when he gets the red eyes, that's totally not a knockoff from Hunter x Hunter. That's his family's Geki Genkai. Only if you have the Uchiha bloodline can you use your Geki Genkai.
Yeah, and Gekiken are not always eye techniques. They're usually about combining two elements. So like for Haku, it was wind and water to make ice, which is so cool. That battle between Haku, Sasuke, and Naruto, that fight is so cool. I just love the fighting, and then how Sasuke protected Naruto, and you think that's kind of weird, and then it, again, solidifies why Naruto wants to be Hokage to protect people.
And yeah, Steve Bloom was there as Zabuza.
Steve Bloom is a great voice actor.
He is awesome. Like, if you hear people talk about Cowboy Bebop, half of those people just like Steve Bloom in Cowboy Bebop.
And then you hear him as Orochimaru, which transitions to the tuning exam, which is actually probably a lot of people's favorite arc.
Stolen from Hunter x Hunter.
Shut up!
Sorry, I had to call. We can edit that out.
It's another episode when we talk about Naruto and taking from Hunter x Hunter and a little bit from Yu Yu Hakusho. A little bit.
Hunter x Hunter and Yu Yu Hakusho is made by the same guy, so we can just say Kishimoto steals from whatever his name is.
I'm really upset I don't know his name at the top of my head.
Yeah. But tuning exam is good because, like, it's kind of like it's Naruto's tournament arc, and you know everyone in anime loves tournament arcs.
Okay, yeah. Real quick, if you like Hunter x Hunter, you will definitely like the tuning exams. Which I actually don't think if you like tuning exam, you'll necessarily like the Hunter x Hunter exam. Because I didn't care for the Hunter exam.
Yeah.
But anyways, the tuning exam, that's when you like meet all the side characters, and then it's like, oh my god. And then you start picking like your favorite ones because like one has a shadow, Shikamaru has a shadow technique, Ino has the mind technique, Kiba's a dog, Shino's a bug. You know, it's just a variety. And you meet Rock Lee, and who doesn't like Rock Lee? And Gaara is like, Gaara's a fan favorite.
He is definitely a fan favorite. You, it's really interesting because Naruto's the 9-tailed fox, and then you meet Gaara, who has the 1-tail. I don't know what he has.
He's a raccoon dog.
With a 1-tailed Tanuki.
He's the Shukaku and Kurama. And then that's another thing, because that builds off of Land of Waves, because now Naruto is going to be empathizing with people within his village and then outside his village.
I thought you was going to say it really builds off the Land of Waves, because Land of Waves you first see Naruto use his QB chakra, and now you're going to meet another
That's true. Beast. And you kind of see why people don't like the host, the Jinchurikis, the host of these beasts, and why it had to be kept a secret and blah blah blah. So Gaara attacks, Orochimaru attacks, third Hokage dies. Oh my god, the third Hokage dying was super sad. Because it's like one of the few people you see who already kind of like Naruto even before his growth.
Yeah.
So, and then Konohamaru was sad, and the whole village was sad. So that's why they had to find a new Hokage, and that was Tsunade. And I haven't watched those episodes, but I've read the manga a ton of them meeting Tsunade. Oh, and Jiraiya! Oh my god.
You meet the 3 Sanins, which is Orochimaru, Jiraiya, and Tsunade were all students of the third Hokage. So it was a nice lead-in from going from the third Hokage, and then you get to meet his 3 students, so you kind of see like how strong the third Hokage's legacy is.
And just so you know, legacy is such an important theme in Naruto, because they always talk about passing down the will of fire. And so you'll see how third Hokage was a teacher for the 3 Sannin, who's the students for, and it keeps going. And that's a strong theme in Naruto. And I actually like that Naruto has this theme, because it makes it so cool to compare and contrast generations of characters.
Hey y'all, we're just gonna back it up real fast. Something that pisses me off in Naruto was that it's the Konoha village of the leaf, and they're in the land of fire, the opposite of leaf, and the number one clan in the land of leaf village is the paper fan Uchihas, who's there to fan the flames. Why is it like that?
Well, okay, because you didn't necessarily read the past of Naruto. Uchiha is one of the 2 major clans that started the Land of Fire.
Yes.
With the Senju clan, which is the Wood clan. So, to be fair, I think the Land of Fire really got the leftovers. Because, what is it? They have the Land of Leaf, River, Sound, which started by Orochimaru. So Orochimaru was just like, I want to stay near my home village to destroy them one day. I actually don't know many villages that are in the Land of Fire. Well, why does the Land of Wind have sand? Does that make sense?
Sandstorms?
Yeah, but you think of
Below the
sand,
you know, in the corner.
you think of sand, you think of more like earth. It doesn't matter. It's all arbitrary.
Well, then Kishimoto should have thought about that.
Kishimoto had an idea and he stuck with it. There was some slight plot holes and he just said, you know what, my writing's good enough that you won't focus on it too much.
Alright, fair enough. We talked too much about this. And I think I said I confused the land of leaf and the land of fire like 10 times.
Yeah, there's only 5 lands and it's based on the elements. They find Tsunade and she becomes Hokage and she's super cool because she's an offensive fighter and a defensive healist. Well, I say defensive as if she can do defense moves, which she cannot. I just mean the one thing she teaches Sakura is that you have to dodge. Like, dodging is your most important thing because you can't get rid of your white mage.
Ha! Tsunade's backstory is whack, yo.
It's very sad. Okay, and Tsunade is a very much a leader, and you think, why would they get this random lady? But it's basic. They do talk about in her past how she was the one who initiated that every squad should have a medical ninja on their team, so that way it would prevent death. Like how she lost.
I thought you was gonna say Tsunade was the reason why everyone had 2 guys and 1 girl, and I was like, bullshit.
No, that's a little bit of I don't know if it's poor writing or just the fact that it's easier to write boys, especially if you're a man.
I don't know, it's hard because I personally identify as non-binary, so it's just like, just write boys and girls the same except for like some one nuance, I guess. Don't make the whole character like, I'm in love.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to talk about. But anyways, so we're not even into Shippuden yet.
I'm sorry, you keep gushing about the land of waves.
It's okay. Shippuden will go down really fast because I just realized I spelled Jiraiya's name wrong in Shippuden. But anyways,
it's just like peeling back the curtain, huh?
a little bit. If you guys think that I know the exact years when the Naruto anime and manga started, just off the top of my head, you are wrong. I will not know unless I have my dumb notes in front of me. And then we get to the Sasuke recovery mission arc, and I have watched that a ton of times. Like, it is crazy how much I've seen that from beginning to end.
Okay, here's my thing. I've said this before, there's a bunch of characters that was kind of important in Naruto, then they kind of got written out in Shippuden. And like I said, I wouldn't mind if they got written out in Shippuden because it's a new arc, new story. That one part in Shippuden where they go save Sasuke again, and they, for no reason whatsoever, bring back Team 8 as the quote-unquote tracking squad when you already had Kakashi's dogs. It was bullshit. They should have done more, or you should have written them out.
Shippuden does like the Dragon Ball Z thing where they kind of like, the Dragon Ball characters are there, but do they really have to be there?
And I'm like, I get it. I get a lot of shonen series falls into the trap of having too large of a cast, not knowing what to do with them. Here's the thing, but I don't think fans would mind if you just write out the characters. You can't just dangle them and be like, yeah, you want to see them, right? Well, go fetch.
I actually would prefer the dangling.
It doesn't work for a lot of series. Like in Fairy Tail, there was the last arc, it dangled so many of the characters, but you're kind of like, you didn't need them.
Okay, to be fair though, Fairy Tail dangled too many characters at one time.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
At least Naruto dangles characters, but like a group per arc.
Okay. It was just, in Fairy Tail, the one who got like the most like dangle was Elfman and Lazana.
Oh god.
Did nothing. But I digress. That's another episode.
Yeah, but you like the Sasuke recovery mission.
I like Sasuke recovery. The beginning arcs of Naruto, I have no problem. They were immaculate. If I had problems, it would be nitpicks. Naruto Shippuden is the one that I have problems with.
I actually almost thought we should split Naruto between regular Naruto and Shippuden, because not only are we almost hitting the 30-minute mark, but Naruto itself, without Shippuden, there's so much to talk about.
Yeah, we can have a part 2, get more money.
Yeah, we'll talk about Shippuden later. Okay, another day. Sasuke recovery arc. It has amazing battles, it has amazing strategies, a lot of back and forth between who has the upper hand. Choji. And then, and when the sand came to help them, I don't know why, that should feel like a cop-out, but it just felt like one of the coolest moments ever. Almost like they were returning the favor. Because Naruto did, like, by helping Gaara, prevent, like, a bloodshed between the two villages. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so I think it's very interesting, because if you look at it objectively, all the Naruto arcs actually do lead to each other. Like, you have the prologue, talk, and like you get baby's first mission that goes into Land of Waves. Then after Land of Waves, when you talk about like how Naruto wants, you focus so much about the Leaf Village, and then with the mist, now we're gonna expand it to all the villages.
Oh.
Yeah, and then right off the bat, the third Hokage dies, and then you have to continue the third Hokage's legacy, because you see Orochimaru kill the third Hokage, and you're like, oh, I guess all the third Hokage students were little shits. No, you have one little shit, one badass woman, and one perverted shit.
Very strong though.
Very strong, but and then after that, it leads into the Sasuke arc, where like Sasuke goes with Orochimaru, because we have to remind y'all that the third Hokage had one little shit, and then it combines elements from the Chunin exam together with the the Sasuke recovery.
Yeah, I guess that's when Naruto and Sasuke really diverge and they go on their own path, which is also like how Jiraiya and Orochimaru diverge.
Yeah, and like there's so many A and Bs of Naruto and Sasuke having that final fight in the Naruto series.
Oh my god, that final fight is so cool because of the water effects, and then obviously the imagery between the Senju and Uchiha, and again the theme. I love how Naruto does its theme of just legacy and like prolonging these two opposing forces, which is actually talked a little bit about in Pokemon Black and White.
God. So it's just, I'm going to say Cut It Off at Naruto was a great series, and like anyone should, if they're getting into anime, should watch Naruto.
Naruto's a great get.
Don't watch the anime fillers.
Don't watch Naruto Shippuden fillers. Naruto fillers are fantastic. Okay, and we are not counting the one where Konohamaru is interviewing all the people before the second part of the tuning exam, because that episode is so boring. It's so cringy, and no one likes Konohamaru and his friends. But all the other fillers...
How come when I say I don't like children in case clothes, you're like, how dare you? They're children. But I don't like Konohamaru, and you can dislike Konohamaru and his friends.
I don't super dislike them. I just don't like that episode.
It's hard because old animes always have to have a clip show just to save money somewhere.
Oh god, it wasn't even a clip show. I just remember him literally going to people, like no animations, almost like watching a dating sim, but instead of reading, they're talking to you. And it's like, these aren't even the questions I want to ask, and you're not answering them in the most interesting way anyways. If you're gonna watch Naruto fillers, definitely have to watch The Curry of Life. That's number 1. Number 2 is the last filler, which is when they're finding the bombs in Konoha. And if I had to pick a third one, my personal favorite is the one with Team 8, and they do this, they have to find a special bug that, I remember correctly, it was a bug that could track Sasuke.
Yes, but then Naruto miffed it at the end, but we won't tell you how, you just gotta watch it yourself.
Watch the fillers. Oh, I forgot the one about, Mizuno? The one who, tricks Naruto into stealing the scroll in the first episode. That filler arc, I love that filler arc.
Doesn't he turn into a tiger furry?
Yes, he does, and I love it. And there's 2 fat guys.
And with that, we are going to end this podcast about Naruto, and we'll continue it in our podcast about Naruto Shippuden. Just a reminder, tigers are sexy, and they shouldn't be sexy.
Tigers are sexy. That's why a lot of people have tigers. That's why Tiger King had 3 husbands.
And thanks for listening to Fun Untitled.